Hey, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I'm here in Berlin still, and I'm in a park in Berlin, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to shoot a video from a park. If you're listening to the audio version on the podcast, obviously you're not going to be able to see the video here, but I'm gonna turn on the camera here for everyone who's watching on YouTube. Or actually, I can't switch the camera angles. That's interesting. There we go. I think I can probably just stitch these together, but you can see the the kind of park that they have here, and I'll describe this for those of you that are listening to just the audio version. It's just a whole bunch of awesome like wooden play equipment, and what you might consider to be dangerous stuff in the U.S. If you compare this to parks in the U.S. or playgrounds, there's definitely a lot more cool stuff here. It kind of reminds me of the stuff that I had when I was a kid. Lots of wooden structures, high slides, metal slides. I think it's pretty cool. It made me think a little bit about how we trade kind of safety for, or what we're willing to trade for safety. So so it's kind of interesting. Like when you think about it in the United States, at least, we've made a lot of sacrifices for safety, and I didn't really realize it until I came here to Europe. Just as we've gone around, we haven't gone around that much yet, but just even being in Paris and Berlin, just seeing how other countries haven't made quite those trades. Right, there's a lot of things that I kept on telling my wife that wouldn't fly in the U.S. That's too dangerous. Even amusement parks and playgrounds and whatever it was, because it just there'd be a safety concern in the U.S. And these parks are a lot more. Whoops, these parks are a lot more fun for the kids. Obviously, there's some danger, but we went to this zoo in Berlin, and there was just like this huge play equipment and tons of kids there. And I the whole time we were there, I didn't see one kid get hurt. So it's pretty interesting just when you think about that, how we make these trades, and not just not to get political here, but it doesn't just apply to countries and to freedoms essentially, but to our own lives, right? So one thing that I've noticed in my own life is that I often optimize safety for instead of freedom, and so by optimizing for safety, I made some pretty big sacrifices in some other areas, and I lost a lot of freedom. You can always trade freedom for safety. A slave is usually fairly safe, right? As far as stability, I guess you could say, but it's not always a good trade, and so it's an interesting thing just to think about in your own life. Perhaps maybe you are trading right now safety. Maybe you're afraid to do something that you should be doing, that you want to be doing, because you feel like it's not safe. And I'm not saying, I'm definitely one more on the safer side. I'm not saying, quit your job and just, go and do your dream without a plan. But I am saying that maybe taking a few more risks is worth it. In my own life, I've benefited a lot by taking risks that I wouldn't have taken before. I mean, even just doing this trip, this is kind of for some people maybe it doesn't seem like a very intimidating experience, but I've never really traveled the country, especially with a 4-year-old, and or traveled the world, not the country. But we're traveling. We're doing home exchanges. It's not safety. It's not comfortable, I guess I would say. There's really not too much of a concern of safety, but I mean that's we wouldn't have these experiences if we hadn't done that. And you might have the same type of thing, and perhaps in your job, same thing happened to me with my job. Is I'd always taken these stable jobs and never really took any risk on starting a business. And once I did that, things really changed for me. But it took some guts, and it took the willingness to be able to trade some of my safety for more of freedom. And that's what I think of when I see these parks here, is that this is a lot more fun. I mean, I actually have fun playing in these parks, but when I go back home and I think about the wimpy little parks that we have, that it's so safe with these rubberized mats, and it's just it's not even really fun. It's like so safe. We've traded safety for fun in that case, and yeah, maybe kids are less likely to get hurt, but they're definitely gonna have a lot more fun here in Berlin, and it's like all the parks here. So just something to think about, something I've observed as I'm here in Berlin, and yeah, so that's about all I have. I'm still here for another 2 weeks at the time of recording this, so and then I'll be going on to Ireland, and I'll definitely shoot some videos from Ireland. Speaking of safety, and obviously, if you've noticed, I am not quite as clear on these videos. It's a little bit embarrassing shooting videos in public. I never thought that, so I'm trying to get over that. I'm going to keep on doing this, even though it makes me feel uncomfortable, because I know that it'll be worth it. This is something that makes me grow. So anyway, that's it. Subscribe to the channel if you like these videos. If you're listening to the podcast, sorry I couldn't give you the video, the pictures for the playground, but if you go to my YouTube channel at YouTube /JSONMEZ, or just go to simpleprogrammer.com and click on the YouTube channel from there, you can see the actual pictures. So take care. Talk to you next time.